this is so crooked today. It's getting on my nerves. Hi, Angela. I know you're usually driving home from work, right? When I do this? Making up some sprays here with Goblin Green and Pumpkin Patch so that we can use these. And then I also have Purple Pansy. But actually what I want is Purple Petunia. So give me a second to grab that one. All right. All right, we will get started. First, we're going to play with the gel press. And I thought what we would do is play with the new Creepy Cobwebs as well as the Bats and Moons. And if there's something you want to see or a specific color combo, just let me know. And we will do that as well. So first up, I'm going to put some of the pumpkin patch down. And then I'm going to take the purple petunia around the outsides. Then I'm going to take my brayer and just get that to blend a little. I don't want to lose the different colors, but what I want is not it to be blobby. Now, blobby does look nice, just depends on what you want. Then I'm going to take my brayer and put some of the Wicked Black on it. And I'm going to lightly brayer the black over, because we're going to do some spooky backgrounds for Halloween. And so we want some of that Wicked Black. Then I'm going to take the Creepy Cobweb stencil. I'm going to set it down. What I like to do, so I don't put my big old finger in it, is lay a piece of paper over this so that you can, what you want is that stencil to come in contact with the gel and lift up that ink. So you can see where I lifted up a little bit of it with the paper, but we got good adhesion here. So we're going to pull that up and you can see it on there. And then we're going to put this down and then brayer this over the back just to get, you know, that ink all applied. And then there we go. So that's our first print. Now you can see with the purple and the black that it's very dark. Hey, Danielle. Thanks for joining. But you can still see the orange. It has an orange tint to it. You can also see where I pushed too hard and lifted that color. But let's do another one. I'm not going to clean this. Part of what's really fun about the jelly plate is that you get those colors that then show up again, right? So this next one, we're gonna do the orange again, the pumpkin patch, and then we'll use Goblin Green. So we'll do Goblin Green around. It's a little brighter than the purple. We'll brayer it to get some blending. We'll add some black. we'll push this down again. So we can do it this way, but where it becomes a little difficult is I want those webs. And I don't, if I don't press it down well enough, then it won't lift that ink. But you can see I didn't pull it off this time. We'll pull that off. Okay, so now you can see it already has that green tint to it, much more than the first one. So you can see that one I went real light and I didn't lift all of the cobweb. Hi, Pat. But it's still cool, right? You could put a sentiment over that, or you could redo it. But I mean, I would use this, or put some pattern paper if you don't. Thank you. But you can see that's why the first time, even though I lifted some ink, I like it to lift a lot of that stencil off. But you can see already how different these look, and we did the same exact thing. So let's do it again. It's still cool? Great, thank you. We'll put some more orange. And we'll put some more goblin green. I love this goblin green because it's a nice dark green, but still bright. Like the mossy meadow is beautiful, but it's really, that dark. So we'll put a little bit of black to tone it down a little bit. Again, I'm not cleaning this because if some of that ink transfers, I'm okay with that. And so I'm going to just lightly put that. So you can see a couple of spots. You already know that those are going to be a little naked. I'm okay with that. This is the Gelli Arts. Here, let me show you. So I can pick up the Gelli Arts, and it's a gel printing plate. And you can use it with ink, like I love it with the Crafty Colors ink. But you can use it with acrylic paint and lots of different mediums. Okay, so see, you can see this one. So I push down that. So you can see all three of them, right? So this was the orange and purple. This was the green and orange, but you got a little bit of that purple and the black. And then this was the orange and the green. And you can see where I pushed the stencil in well. And then where I didn't. And so you can see the differences in those prints. So let's do another one. We will do, how about if we do green? Hi, Sheila. Hi, Kim. So we'll do the goblin green. And then we will do the purple petunia. I always want to call this one purple pansy. Don't ask me why. Clearly it is not. We will put some more black on our brayer. Blend this a little bit. Put our stencil into our jelly plate. Put light pressure to push that stencil in and pick up. You can see where I get heavy-handed. That one's, I got water on it, so we'll start with this one. And there it is. So that's the green and the purple with a little bit of black versus the green and orange or the orange and purple. So same technique, different colors. Let's do another one. Let's do this. This is Charming Chartreuse. And then we'll do goblin green around the edge. Stick this down. And I kind of drug that, so and pull it up. And how's that one? I like the way that one came out. So I didn't add as much black. I only added what was on the brayer. But you can see how different they look. I love this one. So you just get that black around the outside with the lighter green, the charming chartreuse, as well as in the goblin green. Like, you could do this for your Halloween cards if you do Halloween. Oh, Kim got 5 jelly plates in. Right? Use the new pumpkin kisses. Isn't it pumpkin kisses? Sentiments. Put your sentiments on here. And look at that. You got Halloween cards. If you don't do Halloween cards, you can do the same thing for Christmas. And then use... Yeah, right? It is... I've been doing this for not even 10 minutes. And I have 5 backgrounds. All right. Is there a color combo? You like the top left. Which one was the top left? Was that this one? Yes, Pumpkin Kisses. So for this one, for these, I brayered the black over the top. For this one, I just used what was left on the brayer. So if you want less black, so that's how you can get a different look, is by using, you don't have to use the black. It's just, it's Halloween. And I want, let me clean this off real quick. I want them to be spooky. So I don't, I wanted a little bit of that black on there. I don't clean my gel press in between. That's part of the fun, is getting all those colors. If you wanted a clean slate, you can certainly do that. But again, that's part of what makes it so fun. I just ordered the Nouveau Glacier pastes, but they shipped, but they're not here. They look so cool, especially for winter. Any colors you guys want to see? We can grab, that's the Creepy Cobweb. Let's put it away. If you don't like your stencils being dirty, I think they're well loved that way. You can spray some stamp cleaner on them, and that will clean them up. Okay, let's use the bats and moons. So let's grab, where's the yummy yellow? Because I think of moons. Hey, baby girl. Thank you for the kisses. My Dane had to come down and give Mama kisses of encouragement. All right, we're going to we'll just do all yummy yellow. See how this looks? And then we'll take the Wicked Black. And you could do this with any dark color. I just found that I really liked black. I mean, you could do it with the Granite Gray. We'll try that in a second. We're going to brayer some black over the top. Let me grab another baby wipe here. We're going to put the bats and moons down. Take the paper, kind of press that, pierce that in. We'll lift it up. Put our paper down. I like to brayer it across. How's that for creepy cool? Yes, I could. We'll do that right now. So we'll leave this one right here. We'll put the yellow on. We'll take the wicked black around the edges. We'll brayer it a little bit to blend some of that out. Stick this in. Pull that out. So you can see where I rolled that brayer right through it. And the yellow, though it's cool and I would use this, you can see how the little bats, it's a little blotchy. Some of the more pigmented colors, really, like you can see when the black got in there, it left it as a more solid versus having the little color beat up. Now, if you find that a color is doing this, I find that Lovely Lagoon does this a lot. It's just the pigments in the color. If I use the re-inker, it doesn't do that because it's concentrated. So if there's a color you want to use and you don't like what it's doing, then use the re-inker. Let's do something else here. Let's do some yummy yellow, and let's do some pumpkin patch. I got some black on my pumpkin patch, so I'm just wiping it off because I'm just that anal. We will take some black and we will put some of that color in there. Okay, how's that? What do you think of that? See, I think the darker colors... Ooh, did that not... It doesn't want to focus. There it goes. The darker colors give a more defined look. But again, like in the background, I mean, these would be so fun. So now, I just did, at the very beginning, this is Goblin Green. And then I also made up Pumpkin Patch, which is on sale this month, right? This is the ink color of the month. You want stripes of color across the plate? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So let's do... This is Purple Petunia. Goblin Green. let me get my re-inker for my pumpkin patch. I pulled it out. Here it is. I pulled it out to make the so you can see there wasn't a lot of color, but if I pull out the re-inker, then I can get much more pigmented color because of it's concentrated. So let's pull this down. We'll just blend a little bit of that orange across. We'll use this same stencil because you can't go wrong with bats and moons. Hi, Melanie. Pull that up. And there you go. So different look. But you can see how pigmented the orange is with the re-inker. Let's see, what else do we want to do? You could also put this down. Let's see how this works. Sometimes I just want to play and see what that does. If you don't like it, it's just some paper, right? Sometimes you can get some good, it's kind of like using the reverse when you spray. Yeah, how about that? Just by taking the ink that was on your stencil, pushing it into the gel press, and now you can see that green, that little bit of purple, and that orange. Right, that would be the throwaway part. And that, of course, is just the opposite of this one. We can do that with the cobweb if you want. Let's, oh, is that your favorite? Different look, right? I don't know if there's any more on here, but we will certainly see if we can get one more. Yep, a little lighter. It's kind of like second and third stamping, right? Little lighter, but look how good it looks. Again, how cool would that be on a background? Purple and black with the cobweb. Okay, we'll do that right now. Let me put this away. Pull these up. Grab the cobweb. No waste. That's right. There is no waste. So we're going to do purple. And then we're going to do just a little bit of black because, you know, purple's pretty dark. And we can, maybe we'll put it around just the outside edges too. Okay. We'll put this down. pull that up. Actually, yeah, that's the side eye. Brayer that across. Okay, so you can see where I didn't blend it some places, but that's okay. So there it is. If we push this back down, and brayer that on, and lift it up. How's that? So that's the same thing with the bats. Now the cobweb's more open, so you have more white space, but it still has a tint. It's not like it's stark white. It still has a tint of that purple. And we can do it one more time. Now it's already a little light, so we'll see. But again, what's the worst case? If you try to do one more and you don't like it, use the other side of the paper. That's why paper has two sides. But look at that. The first, the second, and the third. It's okay, Melanie, I forget what I order all the time and I end up with duplicates. So even if this was the first print and you didn't like it, you now have two more prints. And if you don't like them, cut a piece. I have, but let's do it again. Let's do the goblin green. Because goblin green is like, besides the red, the ruby red, goblin green is my favorite. Okay, so we have some goblin green. We will put some black. We'll roll that on there. Now this still has purple in it, which is good because we might get some purple that appears in the print. 3 sides, Sheila, you're making me laugh. It's just paper though. I mean, if you don't play, then you don't know what you can do. So you can see, yes, I love it with the large ink pads. I have the large and the small and the reinkers because, you know, I have to have it all. But it makes it so easy for working with the gel press. So you can see the sections where I didn't press it in as much. If you don't like that look, do it over. If you do, it looks good. So now we'll take this that's on there. We'll turn it over. We'll roll this onto the jelly plate here. And look at that one. And we'll do it one more time. You can always plant a tree, that's right. And so look at that. So our first print, our second print, and our third print. All right, we'll do some sprays because I could play with the little gel press all day. And then I will show you how many You do need a bunch of spiders. I like the buttons. All right, we'll move this. Let me grab my gel press. Get it out of the way. All right. Okay, give me 1 second here to get my Make Art Station. Let me put some of these ink pads up. Because I got ink pads everywhere here on my desk. Put some pumpkin patch. And the Wicked Black. Okay. Okay. So I made up some goblin green. But I haven't tried it yet. So we'll see what we think of it here. If it's dark enough. And maybe we want some purple petunia. I like it blotchy sometimes so that you just get those drops on there. Oh, did you get some Make Art Stations? I love these. They are great for holding your stencils down. Oop, I'm a little off screen here. And here's some Charming Chartreuse if we just want to give it some bright spots. All right. Now, before I pull this up, I'm going to stick another piece of paper down and soak up that ink that's on top. Because we should not waste it. So here you have both the positive and the negative. Using your same Kraftin Kimmie inks that you've already invested. Oh, the paper that I'm using, and you can really use any heavy. This is 100 pounds. This is the Hammer Mill Color Copy Digital Cover. So it's 100 pounds. I buy it by the ream on Amazon. It's US. It's not terribly expensive. You can also use Nina if you have the 100 pound, 110. Isn't Nina in the 110? 110 pound Nina will work perfectly too. You just want something at least 100 pounds because for the sprays, as you can see, this will dry. But the spray is water. So you want something that's going to hold up to the water. But you can see, right, you have a positive and you have a negative. Which one do you like better? The one that we made by spraying or the one that we made by soaking up the waste, which would be the waste? All right, we'll make another one. Yeah, it's very inexpensive, and that's what I like is, so what I do is I cut them, and I make like 5.5 by 5.5 inch squares, or do the 6 by 5.5 inch squares, so that you get 2 out of every sheet of paper. You can you know, the 4 by doing the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's just really whatever you want. I just like having, you know, what do you want? I made some pumpkin patch too. Let's do the pumpkin patch. With some goblin green. And then we'll take that piece of paper, slide that off, put that down. You don't have to brayer. I just like to, it kind of, you know, evenly soaks it all up. And there you have it. Again, you have the positive and the negative. So this, right, Kimmie, the pumpkin patch is on sale this month. It's the ink of the month. So if you don't own it, it's a beautiful orange color. Looks really good with the goblin green. All right, I'm going to show you what we made so far in about 30 minutes. So for all of you that say, I don't have time, we've spent 30 minutes. And so far, what we have made, as I have to pick them all up over here, we have the ink that we soaked up, the ink that we sprayed, with both the pumpkin patch and the goblin green. Then we have the goblin green and the purple petunia. Again, what we soaked up, as well as the original spray. We have the third inking, the second inking, the original inking in the goblin green. And then we have the same thing, the third, the second, and the original in the purple petunia. We have the third inking, the second, and the original. Then we have the yellow and the orange and the black, the yellow and the black. This one, which maybe you don't like. It's probably my least favorite of all of them, but there's sections I would use. This one's probably my favorite of all of them. And that's, we just used a little bit of black that was on the brayer. The orange and the green, the purple and the green, the orange and the purple, and then the orange, the black, and the green. And again, maybe you don't like all of this one. Maybe you say, I don't even know how many that is. But with this one, maybe you're like, I just don't really like the way that turned out. Put a piece of pattern paper so only sections are pointing out. You don't have to use the whole thing, or cut it. Cut it right across here and use it as a border across your card. So, I mean, we have, I don't even know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. In 30 minutes, we have 21 completely different backgrounds for cards. 30 minutes. Again, you could do this for Halloween. You could do this for Christmas. Then for Halloween, I would pair it with the pumpkin kisses. If you haven't seen that stamp set, let me grab it. It's right here. right? You take that, you put one of these sentiments, right, over in the side or across the bottom, and now you have a super quick, super fun card. And again, great technique if you're sending a whole bunch out, like I said, like for Christmas, when you don't have, you know, an hour or 2 hours per card. And people are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. If you saw the release, I did, let me go to my stack of backgrounds here. I did the creepy cobweb. Here it is. For the release, right? It looked something like, you know, these. And then I put a spider, which was a button, and I put one of those sentiments. And everyone was like, oh, look at all that texture. It's a super flat, right? There is no dimension to this. It's one layer. So if you're mailing them, again, super inexpensive because it's flat. Yeah, all you need. And what I will tell you is, somebody asked me about other inks. What makes these techniques so awesome is the hybrid inks, because they are so vivid, and especially when you put them into water, they're still vivid. You don't lose that color, right? I could put more drops in here if I want it to be darker, but the water isn't making the pigment, you know, lighter, like with a water-based ink. So, you know, you get the results you get because of the hybrid ink. Yes, pull out that sparkling snowflake stencil. What about with the sparkling sapphire? Wouldn't that be beautiful? And add some of the mermaid melody to it for some darker tones. I mean, we could do that. I don't have let me see if I have sprays. And we'll do a snowflake real quick. Okay. I have 2 blues, so we'll do one real quick because we can. I have the Salty Sea and the Mermaid Melody. Actually, you know what? We'll make the Sparkling Sapphire so that if anybody hasn't seen us make it, they can see us make it. Let me grab the re-inker. I have all of my re-inkers in this little thing, which is great. But when I'm trying to find the blue and also sparkling sapphire, make sure you don't see any of the other colors that might or might not be in there. And let me grab the snowflake right there. And we will grab the water totally breaks down the water-based inks. You do not want to do it. I mean, I just don't think you would be happy with the results because you're just not going to get the same vivid colors that you do with the hybrid inks. Let's pour some water in here. I have it in a little mason jar. All right. So I have my water. I have somewhere, I have a mess on my desk. Oh, yeah. I have some beads. So that it keeps that pigment mixed up. We'll take the sparkling sapphire. Oh yeah, we're going to make sprays in one of the classes. We're also going to play with the gel press. Okay, so we're going to shake this up. I have some Mermaid Melody, so well, it's almost empty, but let's see if we can, there we go, get some of it out. Okay. Take a piece of paper. Soak this up. If you don't have a sprayer, you don't have to. Just try to keep it from moving. So here's the two differences there. So how pretty is that? Oh yeah, texture paste and ink. I think we're using some mousse. This is using the second time. I don't know if there's enough ink left on here, but we'll see. No, there wasn't. But again, we can reuse that. So this one was a little messy. But if you like more mixed media, you can still see the flakes. Or it's just a cool background. So we'll do that one again. We'll use that for the pick it up. All right, last two, we'll do this. Oops, would help if I put the stencil down, wouldn't it? But really the pot, I'm going to try to put it heavy in some areas and then I have some Salty Sea, so we'll use it. Now it's a much lighter color. Pull this other up, try to clean as I go, or I will make a huge mess. So there's the top. So now you can see I got enough water on that now the snowflakes are white. The other time I didn't spray enough on there. We lift this up and there. So you can see where I heavily hit it, but again, yeah, like a stormy white night. I love Salty Sea too. It is so pretty. And if you don't like the color combos, again, right? Make some different ones, spray it, and you're good to go. So what would we have? 21? So now we have 25 different backgrounds. Mostly Halloween with some Christmas. Oh, you can do that. You want to see that? Here. Let me pull these up. Let me find some paper. Hang on. Here we go. All right, let's grab some paper. All right, so we'll spray this. Of course, I picked the Salty Sea, right? Okay. Then we'll lay this down. And we'll pull up our sapphire. We'll soak up that ink because you never want to waste that ink. Even if you don't like it, you don't want to waste it because you could get such a beautiful print from that you would never know. All right, so there's that. And then there's the one we sprayed. And I don't know if you can see, but it has that Salty Sea background. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe, yeah, you can kind of maybe there see that Salty Sea background. So hopefully you learned some new techniques for the tools and items that you already have. Again, you don't have to, buy anything else. You have all the stencils, you have all the ink. These inks do so much. And something I was playing with, let me see if I have a piece of it sitting around. But, well, maybe if I hide it. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. So this background, thank you, Kim. I did this with the reinkers on Yupo paper. I sprayed the Yupo with alcohol, just isopropyl alcohol, 91%. And then I dropped a reinker and I sprayed it with air to make this background. It's the August Scrappy Challenge. So you got a little sneak peek. You'll see the rest of it, I think, on the 27th this month. And that's using the reinkers that you already own. So don't be afraid to play. Like, I didn't know what I could do until I sat down and started playing with the reinkers and the inks. And again, cheap paper goes a long way. And I will bring all of these to the retreat. So if you're going to the retreat, I will have them there. And we will also, if you're taking any, I'm teaching 2 classes. So And we are doing different techniques in each class, and they are different than last year. So if you're thinking, well, I took it last year, you did, but we're going to be doing different things. And so hopefully it'll be fun. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you had a good time and learned something new. Thank you.